I have Justin Ocampo, who, by the way, is 28. Justin joined in when she was primary 5, actually. Yeah, it says here primary 5. And she wrote a very interesting story called Willow Tree Whisperers, right? And she's now 28. Yeah, so 11, 28. So that's about 17 years. Wow, I didn't know that. Okay, Justin wrote her first story as a young author in primary 5. Since then, Justin has continued her passion in writing and reading, taking up literature in her university days. She continues to find joy in words and takes comfort in knowing that there are still many young authors out there who will discover the same wonder and wonders found in between pages. That's Justin for you, right? And Justin is unable to join us today, but Xiaoke will share her video about the judging. I'm going to stop share, all right, and to leave it to Xiaoke.
Hi everyone at Young Authors Awards. My name is Justine and I was one of the judges this year. Being a judge for Young Authors Awards was truly a privilege and an honor to have been able to read so many budding young writers' works. I truly enjoyed myself to see very creative pieces and very new imagined worlds. It was definitely no easy task as well to be able to pick out the best from so many brilliant pieces, but do know that those of you who are here today receiving an award, you should truly be proud of yourself because writing is no easy task and it is a very arduous and disciplined journey despite the very wonderful rewards of creating a masterpiece at the end. I do hope to see more wonderful works from you in the future. The young authors of this day is very hopeful and it's very encouraging, and I can't wait to read more works from everyone here. So all the best and good luck.
Okay, so that's Justin for you, right? And you know what's a good thing about the judging? You get to see young authors, you know, whom you worked with, you know, in their primary school days, secondary school days, and then some even go on to work to write for our Young Reader Club magazine. But they come back and you realize that wow, like for Justin, 17 years. Amazing, right? And it's about building the next generation, and these are the next generation, and you are the next generation. Okay, so let's go to share screen again, and we have that's Justin for you, right? And my next young author, Nicole, right? Nicole, also former YAA, and she is now, well, more engaged in academic writing, but continues to indulge in reading historical and cultural fiction. She values writing as a form of self-expression and hopes to find authentic voices among the young authors this year. Well said, Nicole. Are you here, Nicole?
Yep, I'm here. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Great. Yeah, I'm glad to be able to be here today. Thanks again for the opportunity to come back and judge. Yeah, I have to say that this has been a very interesting experience. I think the last time I judged the AYAA was quite a few years ago, so I kind of forgotten what the process was like. But this year I got to judge many stories, and I actually started off the process by reading my own story that's featured in this PowerPoint slide, because I felt that I had to put myself back in the shoes of the young authors themselves. So I remember to read my story. So I got a better idea of what to expect because, well, I didn't want to be reading it with the expectation of what it should be like for my age. So I read my story and then I read all these young authors' entries this year. And I must say that I was very impressed by some of these young authors because they displayed an authenticity and a maturity beyond their years, which I think is very incredible. Um, because, well, everyone has creativity in their own ways, but I feel like what's most important is to be able to express it authentically rather than just to copy what you read. So I was very impressed to find some really authentic narrative styles and voices this year. So I like to encourage everyone, whether you made it to the award, whether you are here or not here. I hope that every young author who has participated in the process continues to write and to write for themselves first and then for their readers next. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Nicole. Glad to see you again. I remember pictures of you, I think on Facebook of your moms or something. You took ballet, right? You were in some dancing,
Oh no,
right?
yeah, I took up ballroom dancing in my university days.
Yeah, fascinating. Yeah, glad to see you again. Yeah, right. Thank you. Right. And so next person I have is Yun Chu, Anita Yun Chu, and she is a 209 winner and very interesting Yun Chu. Now she's pursuing vet studies in Melbourne. Yun Chu, are you here?
Yep, I'm here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Can everyone hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, I think like what the other judges have mentioned so far, it's really been a privilege to be able to come back and judge for the Young Author Award this year. And I think as Ms. Catherine Cruz said, it's very interesting that I've come, I guess, from this background of writing and creativity. And I've kind of, in a sense, some people might argue that I've strayed away from it. I've gone towards the sciences. Um, I think one thing that's really interesting is that I don't think I'd be here where I am today without the influence of what I wrote in the past, which is about animals and for my love of animals. I think that's a really important part of me. My judging experience, I think it's been an absolute journey. I guess as a musical person, one thing people say is that, you know, you have the same 12 notes and you combine them in different ways to create an endless number of songs. And that's the same way that English or any other language that we write in works as well. You know, you have, I guess, arguably a finite amount of words. You combine them in so many different ways. And each of the authors here has done that to create a unique, different world. And I think I just want to thank all the authors as well. You know, as you get a bit older, and especially for someone who's kind of stepped into the sciences a bit more and a bit further away from creativity, you know, each of your fantasy worlds has helped someone who's become a bit more jaded and disillusioned with the real world to suspend their disbelief for these fantasy imaginary worlds. So it's been a true privilege. And it's also even inspired me to kind of start looking at some of my old works again, to start writing again. Yeah, so thank you very much for that. I think everyone has done an amazing job in creating your own unique universe to speak your truth and your story. And that's something you should be really proud of.
Thank you so much, Yun Chu. Thank you. Nice meeting you again.
It's
And
lovely to be.
yeah, you are in your final year of vet school in
Yeah,
Melbourne.
yeah.
Wow, fascinating. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Next, we have Yen, Jukro Yen Gerard. And Yen is unable to join us today. He is doing design, I think industrial design, that's what he tells me in the Polytechnic. He loves to illustrate as well, which is probably why he went to design. Yes, and yeah, so can I pass this to you, Xiaoke, to share his video?
Hey guys, I'm Ian, one of the judges. So to comment about my judging experience, I think it was a very fun one, a very fulfilling one. I never realized there were so many young writers in Singapore, and I'm just really heartened to see that all you guys really put your heart and soul into your stories. I think that what you guys have done, even if you're not part of the top three, is really brave. And I think to put your work at such a young age out there for people to criticize and judge, I think that that's a very brave thing, and it's a very good learning point for all of you, especially because in life, right, you won't get your way most of the times, and I think that just saying, okay, let's do this, and just putting a word out there, I think that's really commendable. And I think during my judging experience, I really can see that you guys really put time and thought into the work. I think in this day and age where technology is so prevalent, that you guys can take the time out and really just write. I think it's just a really good blessing. And the world really needs more storytellers. The future is really in your hands, and that I think as long as you guys continue to write your truth, to continue to do what you think is right, and continue to put your heart and soul into whatever you do, you guys will succeed in your future endeavors. I really wish all of you the best, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
Right. So the future is in your hands, guys. Okay, that's from Yen. Oops, wrong. Okay, this one. Right. Okay. And so this is Yen at 17. Okay, industrial design, amazing, and he loves illustration, right? And the next person whom I like to call is Brandon. Brandon, are you there?
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can
Hi,
hear.
sorry.
Right.
I'm currently commuting, so it's a bit difficult to turn on my video.
Okay, no
Yeah,
worries.
but
Yeah, just share.
okay. Yeah, I've been paying attention to the broadcast, even as I'm commuting, and yeah, just thinking about my judging journey. When I'm reading the stories, I really see, I'm so heartened to see so many submissions and so many authors young authors that like really write so well. And reading some of the narratives, I really can like relate or really see how I was like one of some of the authors that of the stories that I've written, and the way that they craft the narrative, and I really see like the inspiration behind some of the things that they've written is really similar, and I really like saw my young self from primary school or secondary school in them, and I also really see so much support from the parents that have come on just now, and I'm sure behind every single one of the young writers. My dad also played a big part in my writing journey, and without him, I wouldn't be able to. I don't think I would have continued or really just persisted in this journey of writing. So I just want to say to the young authors, right, that even for me, I really feel that writing is like a lifelong thing. You know, you can write from when you're 5, 6, when you start learning to form sentences all the way until you're 50, 60, maybe even 70. So just continue writing, and I'm really inspired by the community that Catherine has built and in Singapore and Southeast Asia about with all the young writers nowadays. Yeah.
Thank you, Brandon. I can still remember your dad bringing you, for the workshop. Yeah, and
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, thank you, Brandon. Thank you for sharing. Right, and yes, the final one. Okay, my final judge is very interesting. All right, all my judges are interesting, but this one, he came when he was in secondary one, 13 years old. And he illustrated this cover. He was very much into illustration. He had a twin sister who wrote as well, but I think not too much into illustration. And this carried him all the way. Okay, well, I mean, uh, how do I put it? In 2005, okay, he wrote this story, and EAGP, which I'm gonna ask him to tell you what it stands for. Hopefully, he remembers. EAGP is 80,000 word long. Okay, 80 with 3 zeros at the end. All right, and it's one of the longest books I ever read. Yeah, Tilong. Okay, right. Okay, and so welcome, Tilong. I haven't seen you for a long time. Yes, hi.
Hi, Catherine. It's great to see you again after all these years. I think we met once somewhere else, but
Yes.
still so happy to see you doing so great. So yes, EAGP was the first story that I wrote, and it actually stands for, actually remember this, it stands for Experimental Altered Genes Production.
Cool.
And yeah, it was, I would have to say that was one of the best experience in my life. I still can remember vividly what happened. I think I wrote that book when I was in my December holidays in my secondary one, and I really just remember just diving into this entire world that I created, and I just shut myself in my uncle's house because he had like a computer where I can use Microsoft Word. So I actually locked myself in his house for like a month. I didn't really like go out much, so just typing it away. So really like creating stories has really done a lot for whatever that I will share with you later as well. But just to put it out there first, like I've seen all the works, most of the works done for this AYA 2021, and I'm just must say I'm so amazed. I'm really blown away by all the works, all the creative, all the imaginative stories that all of you have come up with. Like I can't imagine myself doing that when I was 10 or 11 years old. So I must really say I'm really so positively surprised by how amazing this young generation, this new generation of authors, writers are. So I really want all of you guys to just keep on creating stories because it will do so much back for you. Yes, created worlds for me, and each time I do that, it has also in turn created worlds for other people as well. It has influenced people to however much extent. So I'm really very humbled by the opportunity that Catherine has given to me and how much it has done for me in my life. So I think back when I was 19 years old, I co-wrote and finished a fantasy teen fiction with my twin sister, best partner, called Cards and Gladiators, which I still have a copy here. So we published in bookstores. I think it's like over 10, 12 years ago. And I think I showed Catherine the manuscript before it actually came out. So this is the actual copy. We actually wrote this, and we actually had like booths all over Singapore back in 2012, where we actually sold in multiple schools, such as I think it was Catholic High and Zhonghua, and it was a great time because we actually get to see the fans and the students themselves came to us and told us their feedback and how they thought about it, and it was just amazing to just actually, if you can actually see your readers, I think that's like one of the best experience ever. So really do keep writing, and eventually you may get that experience as well. And I can assure you, I can promise you, you will never regret it. So right now, I'm actually in Japan. I'm in a share house for manga artists. I actually do still continue to create stories by creating another form. I do not write now, but I actually write dialogues. So I'm actually a storyboard creator. So I create stories for mangas, and what happens is that another artist will pick it up and they will draw it. So this is what I'm doing right now. So I'm still currently creating stories, and I will be debuting next month, in fact. So everything has been going great, and really, please keep on creating stories, because I can assure you, bigger things will happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I don't want to finish yet, Tilo. Yeah, I just want to ask one question. How do you get started doing this? I mean, being a storyboard writer in Japan, all that. How do you get started?
I actually love manga all along because manga has one of the most expressive plots and story development and character developments. It's just amazing how immersive the world manga can be. So I was always amazed by that. So I always wanted to create stories through manga as well, but unfortunately I can't draw. You can see it's really terrible. It's truly terrible. So I actually paired up with another person, and then I started. I actually wrote another story called was it called Fatum Septum. It actually meant the Destined Seven. And then one of my manga artist friend, he actually read like the first, I think it was the first chapter, and then he created like one of the first chapters through manga itself. Then I realized, oh wow, I can actually create manga even without like drawing itself. Then after that, I started learning storyboarding, and then I actually started to draw through storyboards, where I can draw I can dictate the camera angle, the characters, the dialogues, which essentially made the artist's job way easier as well. Then after that, I decided, if I want to do manga, I have to come to Japan, because they are the kings, and the top is just only achievable if I come to Japan. So I spent 4 years here, and finally I managed to get selected by one of the publishers in Japan, Square Enix actually. So currently this is where I am right now.
Amazing. Lovely. Yeah, lovely to hear from you about this. Yeah. I always thought, like you said, manga is like you draw, and then the one who does the dialogue is not that important. But now I realize, yeah, I mean, you can actually write the dialogue and then somebody else can draw. Yeah, that's what I thought initially, that you have to draw and write. Yeah. Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much, Catherine.
Thank you, Tilong. All right. Okay. And so